I feel like we are all like selecting people in our life off of statuses. I think that's just so wrong.
When you're 5, 1 year is 1/5 of your life, 20% of your life. So it's like, wow, 1 year, that's 20%.
No, I'm from Italy and I just moved here.
How is education like in Italy? Like, do you feel like the school is
It's
like
so
really-
different.
Is it-
We just met on Bumble.
Oh my god!
I think so. I just got married.
Good for them.
Thank you so much for having a chat with us today.
Thank you guys. Oh my god, that was
Thank you. So my name is Amira Stewart and I graduated high school 2025, well technically 2024, but I graduated early. I seem older, but I'm really only 19 years old. And yeah, I graduated high school in 2024. I was very committed on my last year of high school, which is why it was a tiny little ball and it started coming, which is why I really think it's important that you stay committed right from the jump, no matter how depressed you are, no matter what you do, because high school was when I decided that I wanted to change, that I didn't want my mind to take over me and I wanted to have control over myself. So I just think it's very important to stay committed. Don't let anybody get the best of you. You know, have your moment for like an hour or two to be depressed or whatever, but like make sure at the end of the day you're still back on your feet, because trust me, it's gonna reward you in the long run, especially if you want to go to college. It's definitely gonna help you. You know, you just have to be dedicated and motivated and a little bit of discipline. So
Where do you find the motivation and discipline though? Because like high school like keeps throwing left curves at you or like left hooks at you. So like it's ups and down and ups and down. So like it's really easy to just get burnt out and be like, I don't want to do this anymore. So like where do you find that motivation?
you have to find that motivation within yourself. No one's gonna give it to you. I mean, people can sit there and tell you like, you know, give you a whole lecture on why you should just find it. But you have to find it in yourself. You have to really sit there and get to know yourself and know like, what is it about you that sparks your energy? Like what gives you like the boost in the morning? Everyone's different. So like whatever gives this person like a motivation might not work for you. So you have to find it in yourself.
What make you like move? Like,
Yes.
What make you boost? Like,
Yes, I can definitely give you that. I feel like I had to hit rock bottom in order for that to happen, unfortunately. Like life had to keep like pushing me down in order for me to find it. And I sat there and I had to like grab myself for a second and be like, I had to look at myself in the mirror and be like, Amira, you need to get your together. Sorry. Like, it's just like when your parents used to wake you up and when you were like a very, very little kid and you had to go to daycare or something and you didn't want to wake up in the morning, but your parents, you know, they gave you that motivation. You need to do it for yourself. It's very important. And you can find motivation in anything. Like, think of what makes you really happy and what you want to do with your life, like in the future. That will definitely help you find your motivation. What is it that you want in life?
there's so many stuff like going on in our society,
Yeah.
and it's so difficult to pick a side. Like to, I don't know, because you can feel like yourself lost because there's so many things. Like you could do everything
Yeah.
potentially.
A lot of people just want to do everything and like figure themselves out that way.
I don't know. I will never do that because I barely can focus on. I don't know.
So are you guys
I'm
like classmates?
No, we
No.
just met on Bumble.
Oh my gosh! You are the second set of people that we met, like that I found Bumble BFF or Bumble.
Yes,
Yeah.
Bumblebee.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
you guys.
BFF now.
Yes.
We just met yesterday, but I love her.
That's crazy because like we
I know.
met-
I feel like I've known her for years.
The other people that we interviewed also met on Bumble BFF too. It's crazy.
That's
It's just
great.
like what advice do you have? For
I
them?
was so desperate. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Desperate. Yeah. So like, also like, did you go to school in the U.S. or did you go to school?
no, I'm
outside?
from Italy and I just moved here.
How is education like in Italy? Like, do you feel like the school? Is,
It's
like,
so
really-
different.
Is it stressful? Like how
no,
is it?
it's so. I mean, I was like really a good mannered kid. Like if I used to do something bad, I'm not gonna do it because I know like that I can't
Yeah.
give it so much power because they don't know what to do. Like
Yeah.
they need a leader. They need someone like they can take
Yeah.
example.
Yeah. Like someone to look up to.
Yeah, like a mentor.
Oh, that is very important in life, especially in high school.
Yeah.
Like your younger
We are
years.
so like people are need.
Yeah,
Like,
you
I'm
need
feeling
like.
I was feeling
Sorry.
so lost here by myself. sorry.
You
No, it's okay.
They're saying that right now, like, you know how AI is replacing a lot of jobs?
Oh.
And everything? They're saying like, oh, will AI ever replace like tutoring or therapy or things like that? But I feel like it can't, because like you need people sometimes. You need human
Yeah,
connection.
I mean, AI is not gonna give you the human connection. I think humans can give you like a different connection versus what a robot or whatever. Like you can learn and it can make you smart, but like I wouldn't rely on it completely with everything. I feel like some people, like because AI tells you exactly like what you, I don't want to say what you want to hear, but like it tells you exactly like in the most precise way everything like you want to ask. Like if you want to dump your feelings on it, it will give you like the most like,
Does he understand you?
yeah, like
You know
it will
what
tell
you
you
want.
exactly how it is, like almost like it's completely
I
right.
love you.
And
Love ChatGPT.
that's why we like it so much and we come dependent on it. But then like you realize like it's also just a machine. I was gonna say an animal, but it's not.
It's the
A
problem.
machine.
How does like social media like ruin
Yeah, we were
things?
talking about that.
Oh, it definitely does. I feel like it ruins friendships.
All right,
Like
cook.
yes, it definitely like social media can like definitely give you a fake perception on so many different things. Like it's actually crazy. And everyone is like, I don't know, like I feel like we are all like selecting people in our life off of statuses, like including social media. Like how are you gonna like that's I think that's just so wrong and so like that's probably why we find so many fake people, because like when you rely on social media, like you're getting the fakest version of basically everybody. Like no one's actually 100% genuine on social media. I'm not. So, you know, it definitely ruins friendship. It definitely can give like insecurities. Like I feel like that definitely can get in the way of your mental health 100%, no doubt. And then it also can ruin your like, I don't even know. It ruins your life. Very toxic, yeah.
For students who are just graduating high school or graduating college, and they're like, what do I do now with my life? I can choose to go to college, I can choose to find a job, I can choose to like, you know, go to like a vocational school, or choose to go to like a school for like crafts. Like, what advice would you have for them when it's like, okay, I just finished high school, what do I do with my life?
I advise you to get some money, so you have time to think about like because if you have money, you can like don't work and just focus on yourself.
Mhm.
Understand what you like for real, like social media, fuck everything. Just I don't know, focus on yourself and try to understand what you really like, what you make you happy, and inform yourself. Like be aware about social stuff, political stuff, arts, because they're gonna make you grow anyway. Even if they're not gonna like make you, I don't know, actually immediately rich, they are gonna like make you grow as a person.
So educate yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
I don't know, my advice just overall is just like I said, start now, don't wait. I mean, it's gonna catch up to you, trust me. It's like a credit card. Like you wanna use it now and you're like, because that's what the credit card is. Use now, pay later. So
Thank you guys. Oh my god, that was
thank you.
beautiful.
I
That was
love
so
that.
good.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, sure. So I grew up in Jersey. I went to NYU for my undergrad. I studied economics. I graduated in 2020, the COVID year. It was an interesting
wow.
time to graduate, but
Not easy.
yeah, that's when I graduated. I worked in banking after I graduated, investment banking. That was kind of my goal throughout college, was to get there. Once I got there, I realized it wasn't for me. Like it was kind of boring and just I didn't find it interesting. I wasn't good at the work, so I left and decided to start a startup. And
gosh.
I've been doing that for the better part of 2 years.
Oh,
And
crazy. What's your startup about?
it's called Aura. It's we just made a series of social apps,
Oh,
and
okay.
we think that there's a big opportunity within social as the bigger platforms kind of pivot into video and kind of influencer content from big accounts. We think that there's an opportunity to come back to the way it was in 2012. Like Instagram was for your friends. You just
Right.
share candid moments about your life and
Yeah.
kind of stay in touch with your friends. So that's what the goal is, and yeah, that's what we've been doing.
Cool. Okay, so you graduated during COVID years. That wasn't easy. A lot of our students who graduated from COVID years, or even like friends that graduated from COVID years, like a big part of it that was really challenging is the whole transition to online. And I feel
Right.
like a lot of our kids, as we were saying earlier, like a lot of our kids are kind of growing on this like online environment. So instead of like having like worksheets, like tests are being done online. Did you go to Stuyvesant?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay, because I saw you.
I was just familiar with it, but yeah.
Graduated students, what?
The SHSAT is the test that you need to go to Stuyvesant. And now the SHSAT might be online as well. SAT is online, ACT is going to be turning online. Everything is becoming like this online jungle. So I'm wondering, do you have any advice about, for our younger students who are kind of like stuck in this like online sphere or like, you know, having trouble with concentrating, things like that? Like, what advice would you give to the students of like, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think a problem with everything being online is, well, first of all, the cheating, like the integrity thing. There's no way to stop that. You can't. And the kids don't really have an incentive to not use AI and tools like that. You know, it's hard. I think it's hard for kids to, you know, think about the long-term effects of it and the long-term benefit of education. You know, they kind of just want to get the stuff done so they can go and play Roblox or like whatever it is that they do, right? So
Roblox,
it's hard. I think it comes down to giving a message to the parents to keep their kids invested in education and to keep them focused on it and keep them motivated. I would say to make the most out of the time that you do have in person with the teachers. I think there's a ton of like subconscious and just non-material communication and information that gets transmitted better through being in person. I think there's a big effect of being in person rather than online, even if it's the same words being spoken. So I would say to kids, make the most out of that. And yeah, I mean, for younger kids, I think it's hard to pitch them on education and you know, like I said before, just keeping them off, you know, acting with integrity and doing the right thing. So it's hard.
I had a quick question I wanted to ask you about. What advice do you have for kids who are going from like middle school to high school, and so they're still in the sphere of education and they still need to study and learn, but let's say they're facing burnout or they're like having this like, you know, it's hard for me to be focused in school. I'm like starting to lose a little bit of interest in it. How do I get that motivation, even if it's extrinsic as well?
I think it depends on how the burnout is being brought upon them. I think if they're just focusing so much on school that they can't think about anything else and it's just kind of exhausting them, it's that kind of burnout, then I would say just counterintuitively, just spend more time with your friends, do more fun things and balance it out more. And I think that's enough to kind of rejuvenate you. That's kind of how we were advised to deal with burnout in the professional world too. Just like kind of go back to the things that you enjoy doing, enjoy things day to day, have fun. Remind yourself that there's a bigger purpose to life than your one singular goal that you're trying to accomplish in school.
Right, because when you concentrate on one singular goal, it's like harder to like endure with that one goal.
Yeah, I think most people, they like, it's too exhausting to just like go tunnel vision on one thing for a very long time. So for kids at that age, I think being social is really, really important at that age. I think just fundamentally within humans, it's like something that drives us so much when we're teenagers and at that age. So
I feel like a lot of kids right now, like the idea of being social is kind of like, you know, being on the internet still. Do you recommend like stepping away from the internet from time to time to be social? Yeah,
because I think sometimes you get the fake dopamine hit from like someone liking your picture or whatever, but I think again it's artificial, and I think there's a lot of value to being in person, face to face, where like you can feel the other person's energy and you can like communicate with them a lot more effectively in person and really get that social interaction. I don't think it's real. Like the social interaction online isn't as real and legitimate and doesn't give you as much of the kind of vitality that like in-person, face-to-face interacting does.
I feel like we had more of that during like our generation, like kids just like going out and being kids, but like now, and I'm like, I don't know, you said you also tutor, right? Like when you see your students right now, like a lot of them are just like iPad kids or they have like their phones out, and it's crazy because I'm thinking about like I had like a flip phone when I was 12 years old and that was like my first phone, but like I have like kids who have like iPhones when they're like 8 years old. It's like it's a completely new playing field. Like the generation is like, you see the like stark contrast between like kids now and then like kids are, you know, during our generation.
Yeah, and I think we'll see that even more. The brains, I mean, the
evolved.
phones completely rewire your brain at that age. Your brain is so malleable when you're young, and the phones and just all the quick stimulation and quick cheap dopamine hits, like it's just not good for you in the long run.
So like for our generation, like yes, a lot of people are still like addicted to like, you know, the internet, social media, all that stuff, but it's like I heard that it's still like reversible because we're doing it at a later point. But like for iPad kids or like Gen Alpha kids who are like who have their iPads out like early on, it's like really, really hard to reverse because it starts out when you're so valuable, like as a kid
the damage was done at like age 5 and at that point.
So for like kids, let's say at the at the high school stage of their life or college stage of their life, right? Like these are like really big life transitions we're moving into now. Like for kids who are about to go into stages of adulthood, like let's say they have to like, you know, move to a new place that's like far from like family or like move out of college. What advice would you have for them when they're like sitting there and it's all of a sudden compounding like anxiety from all different directions? I have to be an adult. I have to start making money. I need to find a job. I need to find my passion. What am I going to do with my life? My friends, things like that. What advice do you have in moments like that when it's like super like high compounded stress?
Yeah, at that age, I think the stress is necessary. I think it exists for a reason. I think time moves very, very quickly
Yeah.
after you graduate high school.
Yeah.
And while you're still in high school, like the jump from 9th grade to 12th grade feels like kind of a long time, but
Yeah.
the jump from freshman year of college to senior year of college is like exponentially
Right?
feels faster. So
Yeah,
I
I
think you
agree.
should have concern at that age. You should know, kind of have an idea of who you are, how you relate to the world, and what you want to do with your life, like maybe a general idea. I think the faster you find that out, the less stress you have, honestly. I think stress comes from uncertainty.
Yes,
So-
I agree.
Once you're certain about the path that you want, you know, I think the stress kind of, for the most part, disappears and
Yeah.
you can kind of
the tricky-
just focus.
The tricky thing is finding that certain path, right? Like a lot of people even going into college, they declare as like undeclared majors, or like after
Right.
college, it's like I still don't know what I want to do, right? So like a lot of people, have you heard about the thing where like a lot of people decide to go for a master's because they're like, I don't know what I want to do with my life, like
Yeah.
go back to school.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I think that's
It gets
the
messy,
result of
honestly.
indecision. Yeah. And
yeah.
had they thought about this more and had more foresight when they were in high school, and obviously this is like, I know this sounds completely contradictory to what I said about middle schoolers, but I just think that's how you have to be in high school. Yeah, start thinking about your future, start thinking about what you want your life to look like after college, and you know, there's a lot of steps you can take at that age to change that and
Do you
to
think-
make that happen.
Do you think there's necessarily a rush or like I guess like rush to like start thinking about like your future early on, or do you think it's like one of those things where you can afford to be a little bit more patient with it? Like let's say you're in your early 20s.
I think if this was 10 or 20 years ago, then maybe not. But I think these days, I think our world is changing a lot faster than it was 10 years ago, and things are a lot more competitive.
Yeah.
Our economy's changing.
Yeah.
You know, the prices of everything are going up, education, housing.
Yeah.
Like, I think our world is going to look totally different in 10 years. And I think the better of a competitive edge that you have, it's somewhat, it's not zero sum, but there are winners and losers. And the faster you get ahead of it, then the more you can win, I guess.
It's
Relative.
like a stark reality check, honestly. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, a lot of my high schoolers are like, oh my gosh, like it comes so fast, 4 years, and then all of a sudden I think someone just got married behind us.
Good for them.
Life moves so fast.
It does.
You think it moves fast in high school? Like wait till you get out of college and all of a sudden all your friends are like onto their like promotions, jobs, marriages, partners, things like that.
Yeah, and I think there's a mathematic reason for that. Like,
Why is
when
that?
you're 5, 1 year is 1/5 of your life, 20% of your life. So it's like, wow, 1 year, that's 20%. But when you're 20, it's 5% of your life. So it's like, oh, that was nothing. And that compounds as you get older.
I see. So now like life becomes, and yeah, your life is significantly a lot shorter when you're 20.
Like,
than
your
when you're five.
perception of it goes a lot faster.
How has your perception of time changed?
It just keeps getting faster.
It keeps getting faster.
Every single
So
year, the
how
year
do you
feels faster.
How do you enjoy like the small things in life when like everything is so atomized and fast?
Well, I think the scarcity brings it, you know, gives it value. So the fact that you're going to lose it, and the fact that I'm going to be dead, and that's been very clear in my mind for a while.
Right.
I think you never really know what you have until it's gone. But if you could realize that it's going to be gone before then you can kind of appreciate it more. So I'm not going to be young forever, right? So I'm going to enjoy being young, being able to drink a ton on the weekends and not be that hungover. Like,
Are you in
and,
your 20s
and when
right
I'm
now?
50, yeah, I'm 27.
Yeah, so they say like your 20s are like your defining decades, right? Like you get to make all the changes and transformations, or the biggest ones happen when you're 20s. Do you agree by that statement, or do you think life is a little bit bigger than that? Like you can still make changes in your 30s.
I think for the most part, right? Because as you settle into your 30s, you kind of live in monotony. Like you have your life partner maybe by that point. You have the job and career that you
It's
want, and it's
stabilized.
just kind of stabilizing.
Or is it? Because the
stays-
generation is
yeah,
also different
not
too.
for everybody, of course. No,
Yeah.
like some people's. But I think if we're talking about the larger population, then yeah, I think that is true. In your 20s, what they say is take risks, do the things that you want to do, and yeah, I think I've kind of embodied that and try to live that way. So
Yeah, I mean, like just from hearing about like the things that you're doing, it's like you're. Oh my my gosh.
I got it.
This guy with a tire in his head behind you.
Oh shit.
I love New York.
Yeah, it's very New York.
Yeah. I feel like you're living your life almost like, you know, you're jumping from milestone to milestone. So it's like, it's crazy how like there's so many of these different paths. Once you get out of college, everyone kind of like, or even high school, everyone just kind of like, there's like this network of like all these different paths that people are taking. And so, and also because it's like a new environment as well, it's like I have no idea how the world is going to change 10 years from now, or how the career decisions that we make now are going to impact us 10 years from now too. So
Yeah,
like,
it's interesting to see where everyone ends up, right?
It's like a social
a lot of people go like corporate and go that role.
Yeah.
From my high school at least.
I was going to go corporate, and then I ended up doing something opposite of corporate, because everyone in my high school, everyone in my grad school went to corporate. So thank you so much for having a chat with us today. I really appreciate it.
All right, best of luck with everything.
All right, thank you so much, Dan. Take care. Thank you for watching our video of New Yorkers answering what advice would they give to the graduating class of 2025. Through my conversations with people from all different walks of life, all different ages, all different backgrounds, studies, I was really blessed, and I realized that this is very, very like informative for me to know just a collection of like people who have advice and life experience that they can offer as like a point of reference to like the growing collective pot of all these different ways that people have, you know, encountered adversity, gone through difficult experiences, and overcome them as well. I think that's one thing I really love about New York City, and especially about Washington Square Park, because it's just like, it's an open experience for us to ask and have these really deep, real, authentic conversations with people about, you know, anything from as simple as what's your favorite scary school story, to what life advice would you have for someone who's exiting the sphere of school and academia. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you want to see more like this, then please keep watching our socials and our YouTube videos. We'll have more to share with you guys. Thank you.